The day.
Prove it. Eat one. Yo, welcome to another episode of Companions of Food podcast, hosted by me, Eamoondo.
And me, Alfredo. And me, Carlito.
Where we talk about honest to goodness experience through our own journey and perspective. Today, we'll embark onto the topic of self-care, confidence, and insecurity. Today, we have another special guest. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, everyone. My name is Fiona. I'm a dietitian. I am 28 years old. A shout out to my two bunny rabbits, Coco and Napopo.
Super cute.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Fiona.
How do you take care of yourself? No one takes care of themselves here, I guess.
How do you take care of yourself?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I guess how I take care of myself is first with like fitness wise. I'm quite fat, but not like really like.
I wouldn't say fat. Just
I'm big. I'm big. Yeah, I'm big. I'm a big man. Yeah.
Big man.
Thank you. Confidence is skyrocketing right now. Yeah, I'm a big person. I'm a big man. So I kind of take care of myself. You know, just want to keep myself like in a nice physique. So I just go for runs, go for walks. So. You know, I think it's really important to get the mental health going as well in terms of like just keeping it clear. But how I keep it clear is by, you know, go for runs and walk. It clears my mind. And then I actually tried doing reading as well. So that was really helpful, doing a bit of reading. It just...
What, like porn magazines or?
Hentai stuff.
Oh,
okay. No, like actually like a legit book is called... I can't remember the name of the book, but it was good. It was good stuff.
Are you sure it's a book? How can you not remember?
Yeah, I read. Well, what about you guys? How do you guys take care of yourself?
Kind of similar to yourself as well. It's mainly during lockdown. I think we've kind of had that moment or period where everything's shut down. You just have you and yourself and your home, and then you have more time to kind of reflect on that. So for me anyway, kind of again, looking after my skin, I think not just because, I want to look good for other people. It's mainly for me to look good for myself. Because in the end, like, it's my skin. If anything happens to it, it's still my skin, whether it's good or bad. And I think that kind of helped with the confidence a bit. And then again, exercising, making sure I do my daily exercise, again, because we know exercise is good for our health, good for our heart, trying to eat better, because obviously eating nourishing food is good for your overall health. So I think kind of choosing to do the things that will help you feel better about yourself is how I look after myself. Trying, again, reading as well. I think you're probably the same. We can agree on that. We spend too much time on social media, Instagram, flicking through things. And I think our mind just kind of go from like being active to like being passive. And because of that, we don't really think anymore. So then I also actually started reading as well. I can't remember the book.
There we go. Another person that can't remember the book.
Okay.
It's what's it called? I can't remember.
It's about guys, is it?
It's about...
Well, she is quiet though.
Ooh.
It's
Quite about it.
It's about technology and like... Oh yeah, it's basically about like how the world went from like newspaper and then going from newspaper to television and how that changed the world, like how we kind of communicate with each other, and how in a way television is... Oh God, I can't remember. But it's a really good book. I'll put it down in like...
Put it down in the comments when you find it out.
It's worth the read. It's so applicable at the moment as well because of like the next step up to technology is internet and like how that changed the world. But yeah, I just feel like after reading, I actually kind of slow down. You kind of slow down a bit and you kind of you go from passive being active because you actually have to read and understand what's in front of you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that helped with like my articulation, and kind of expand my vocabularies. Yeah, so like doing things that I know it's going to be good
beneficial.
For me. Yeah. And also not just good for me, but it's good for other people as well. I think when I look after myself or when I'm feel good about myself, you know, I feel like I kind of pour that out to other people so that other people can kind of
Feed off it.
and that kind of ripple effect. So it kind of starts from yourself. You want to look after other people. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So as a human nutritionist yourself,
dietitian.
oh sorry, dietitian, same thing.
Potatoes.
Exactly. Yeah. So would you be really strict on your diet? Do you really look after for what you eat and how many calories intake you get?
Like, I think as a dietitian, I won't be like really restrictive. Like, I'm not going to eat crisp because it's so salty. I think at the end of the day, it's about
Prove it.
balance.
Eat one.
That's good. At least you're not boring.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go on.
Oh, am I strict on my diet? No, I'm not strict on my diet at all.
Okay.
But obviously, as a girl, as a woman, like I would still be kind of be like calories, like thinking of like, if I ate too much here, I'll probably eat less later on, just so that I don't eat too much. And obviously, like I think it's just we're gonna always want to look after our figure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
but I won't restrict myself from eating things. Like if I want to eat it, I'll eat it. Because I feel like when you restrict yourself from something, after a while, when you lose your willpower, you kind of overdo it. Like you kind of overindulge.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, in my sense, in order to build confidence, it's kind of like the same as Avon or even Carson. Like we all the lads would go to the gym and we would want to seek for a better body image, and we would go gym, and obviously diet would be a big part as well. For now, I tend not to eat as much like snacks, KFC, Burger King, all the fast food. So,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's really hard though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with the whole lockdown, it is a shame because usually after work I would go to the gym straight away, or before work I would go to the gym and then go to the gym, then go to work. It's kind of like my own time in the gym, just music in and just my own kind of personal time. And then the lockdown has happened and I haven't really gone to the gym at all. There is some small weights at home, but it's never the same because you're always just stuck at home anyway. It does reflect a lot of what you do. Makes you spend time with family more as well because you're at home all the time. Yeah, just my parents always cook nice food, so it's good to always eat healthy because they're always about eating healthy now and again. And then obviously you have the odd kind of fast food or fried stuff, which is okay.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because for my parents, my mom cooks a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
Right? And even for breakfast, sometimes she can cook like pizza, and then you have your lasagna,
Big meal. Yeah.
like sausages, bacon, and then you have your boiled rice, which does not make any sense at all.
How do you control
She
yourself?
kind of mix and matches everything, and whenever she sees some advertisements about diets, about pills and everything, she fucking hates it. She's like, ew, it's like, did she is so against it. Like, she is so against it. Like, she doesn't like eating healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She feeds. I mean, every time we're over, she feeds us really well. So
No, like, every time she tells me, you should eat this is healthy, and the next thing buys like KFC, pizza. Even if you open my drawer, like the kitchen drawer, like you can see
so many snacks in there.
crisps, full of crisps, different flavors, different brands. You can think of anything that you want, get in there. It's mad, like yeah.
It's the mother's love. They always want to feed us like
I know,
non-stop. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I always see like Carson, like his family's like Monday to Friday. I feel like they eat really clean. Like even for you, like sometimes we go out and eat together. He gets like chicken.
Oh, I remember that.
I mean, I'm not against chicken, but it's just like it shows that he's
boring, yeah.
Yeah, he's boring. Yeah. Doesn't know about any other food.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But, it really shapes your character, taking care of yourself. It does, what you eat does make you, it does affect you. Become what you eat kind of thing. If you feed yourself junk, you do feel less, like you feel more tired, more lazier. Because I don't know about you guys. Like, for example, I had a story, like back then when I was like really young doing leaving cert, doing my studyings like that. And I was like eating a lot of junk food, chocolates, crisps, and then like just binging on like sodas and stuff like that, but nothing was going in. Like when you're studying, nothing goes in. So I decided to kind of change my diet and try to eat just like veg and clean stuff, food and proteins, and you feel like everything you're studying goes in more easier, and you can retain the information as well. So definitely, it's important that not just food, but anything in life. Personally, I feel like what you feed what you feed to your own body and what you feed into your mind, it really does affect you as well. Just say if you're watching porn all the time, like being serious, if you're watching porn every single day, are you okay? Did you just watch porn today?
No. You're not talking about me, right?
No, but if you're just watching those stuff every day, your mind's gonna be filled with all just temptation, lust, So it's really important to feed your mind with the correct stuff, in terms of just kind of like self-learning things, whatever it is, but just kind of think what I learned is just feed yourself with the things that will help you benefit. Mm-hmm. A simple question: do you love yourself?
I think it's important because, I think back then, I think your confidence level and how you love yourself kind of correlates, because I feel like back then when I didn't have as much confidence or try to fake to be confident, I knew I didn't really love myself because in a way I was kind of doing things to please other people.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like thinking of how to make those people happy or make those people accept me. In that way, I kind of neglected myself because I wanted them to love me. But because of that, then I kind of lost myself. But I think as you kind of start loving yourself and realizing that everyone goes through their own struggles and everyone, is worthy of love, just as you do, then I think that kind of helps build your confidence level as well, because you kind of value who you are. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like in a nutshell, I suppose it's important to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, then you can't really love anyone else.
Yeah.
Do you know, because at the end of the day, it's just you and yourself in the middle of the night in your bed.
It is. It comes down to you. Ultimately, at the end, if you, we all do want people's approval sometimes now and again. We do seek that, and we do seek our own approval. But I think, to relate, definitely at the end of the night on your bed, you have to love yourself, because you are the person who is living, ultimately, yeah.
Do you love yourself?
I hate myself!
That's actually a really deep question, because I never question myself. Oh, do I love myself? Like I do love myself. I can say that.
But you never thought about it,
I never thought about it though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because sometimes I know some specific people often say, "Oh, you're getting tattoos. You're harming yourself. You don't love yourself." Like I do get these kind of questions, but because the damage that does to my skin, it's only temporary. Like I know the pictures, like the tattoos are permanent. Yep. But the damage part is only temporary. So I'm not continuously like stabbing myself or whatever.
That's so interesting though. Just from your example saying some people said, "Oh, you're harming yourself because you're having tattoos." I mean, you can say that you can use any example to anyone if you're judging.
Even smoking.
Yeah.
Smoking is harmful to you, but you still do love yourself.
Yeah. Or people say, "Oh, you're eating junk food," or "You don't love yourself." It's know. Yeah. It's like people can be so picky and judgy on things.
Yeah. It's important to not let their kind of comment affect you as well. It's like, because everyone's gonna have something to say at the end of the day. I'm gonna have my opinion. Carson's gonna have his. So are you guys. But it's what you really think should. If this is something that you believe is right for you, then do it. Then don't let someone determine that for you.
Honestly, I think back then I don't think I would have loved myself. The older I grew, I just began to accept who I am and how to improve as a person, because anyone may not love themselves by it being their facial, how tall you are, if you're muscular, like genetics, it's like as guys, it's either, I wouldn't say like handsome or ugly, but it's the fact that for girls or women, they have, makeup to help them. For guys, we only have our hair.
I'm sure there's more to that.
Makeup, I guess.
That's really true, though.
I'm not trying to put it out there and say compare them, but it's just, as guys, there's only so much we can change. I mean, you can go for plastic surgery if you want, but at the end of the day, you just kind of have to accept who you are. You can't change your physical, but it's your personality, and deep down is what you can change, so you can be a better person and strive to begin to slowly love yourself by developing new skills or pushing yourself to, I don't know, just do different things. So for me back then, it was difficult because I hung around with a lot of Irish guys, so I was as Irish of an Asian as you can think of. So it was hard because there wasn't much Asians around me at that time. So it was kind of like really wanted to be kind of like, you know, a proper kind of Western kind of a guy, you know, with, you know, you come home for like dinner and then you go back outside and you play football and stuff like that. It's all like kind of casual and stuff. So yeah, I think the fact that me being Asian was something that was probably big back then, but I began to accept myself. And, you know, once I met you guys, I kind of learned to accept, you know, who you are and to love yourself, for no matter, you know, if you're Asian or not Asian, you know, because, you know, what makes the world kind of different. You know, there's loads of different people out there, and it's interesting. And now I've kind of accepted to kind of, you know, accept and love yourself as much as you can. And one of the things was, I've never liked kind of my freckles or dimples because of that, because not many Asians have those. And people would always say, oh yeah, but why would you not like it? It's just like, well, I'm just not a fan of it at all. And people would just say, well, it's the trend that, like, you know, freckles is getting back into, and people are actually do, like, you know, putting kind of dots and stuff on it. So yeah.
So you're happy now you have freckles?
Well, I'm not saying I'm happy, but I'm slowly accepting it. There's not much I can do about it. Well, there is. You can kind of get rid of it. But if you get rid of it, you're kind of getting rid of who you are as a person. I mean, like, you know. So,
no, I like something about that is like you are who you are, and sometimes at the start you're going to hate it because other people don't have that. Just say we don't have freckles, and you're like, oh, I don't want freckles. But then once you accept the fact that you have freckles, you know, you're the only one who has freckles. You know, you are the unique person. So as you look into that way of loving yourself, that accepting yourself, once you accept that, and you actually feel so much better instead of hating yourself because you have freckles. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, like, once you accept and love yourself, like, in that level, you're so much happier, and then start always just judging yourself and just kind of questioning your own kind of confidence, so on and so forth. But acceptance, and that's what you did, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah. I think it is the new trend, because I'm not sure about you guys.
I want freckles too.
You can try it on if you want.
Even I see a lot of models on Adidas or Nike. I'm not sure if you've seen that guy before. He has a lot of freckles.
He's albino, like he's really white.
He's ginger, isn't it?
Ginger?
I think he's
Oh.
ginger, yeah.
Okay.
And he has a lot of freckles. And then there's another black model. She has some sort of skin disease. She's like half black and
really
half
pretty
white.
though, yeah.
But she's really pretty.
Yeah.
So if those guys can come out with confidence, like, I'm pretty sure you can come out with confidence as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, image is important, but it is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like kind of echoing what everyone's saying. It's, you know, comparison is a thief of joy. You know, like when you compare yourself with someone else, you're never going to be happy about yourself, and it's just going to go in like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And at the same time, that person might want something that you have.
Yeah.
And then if everyone's just kind of like wanting everyone else's thing, then
You're not original anymore.
so love yourself.
Like you guys mentioned before, plastic surgery.
Yep.
What do you guys think about it? Would you ever get one done?
I wouldn't. Yeah.
wouldn't?
I am who I am. Yeah. Put in short.
I mean, for me, right? Like, I personally, I always really I didn't like my cheeks. I feel like I had like chipmunk cheeks.
Oh, but I think they're quite cute though.
Way!
I always wanted to, back then, I wanted to like do plastic surgery or get some suctioning.
Oh.
Is that even, that's a thing
possible.
though? Is that possible? Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
so.
more Myanmar, I think.
Yeah,
oh,
you can, like,
you can get like a V
V-shape.
shape, like yeah.
Because again, like if you go on social media or whatever media that you're on, you'll see a lot of like models, and they're all like have really nice V line. But again, that's when you like again comparing yourself with them, and it's really unrealistic as well. They probably have like a lot of things done to their face. So
Yeah.
I have thought about it, but I don't think I'll ever do it.
Yeah.
Would you do it?
I don't think there's anything that I need to change. Is there?
Yeah, just your personality.
Oh shit!
Shit, okay.
Imagine going into the plastic surgeon like.
Do you
it's
do
like,
personalities?
It's like, okay, so Mr. Sam, what would you like to change on your face or whatever? Just my personality, please, doctor.
That's next door.
I think you're looking for Doctor Ho. No, I never thought about it. Even the process of thinking about getting a plastic surgery, 即係割雙眼皮啊, like those would be the popular ones in Asia.
Yeah.
Just the thoughts of it using a scalpel like near your eye just freaks me out. So back then, when me and my brother Eric,
Yeah.
so we went to
Shout
Korea.
out to Eric. What's up, man?
Shout out to Eric. So me and him went to Korea, and you guys know Korea. Plastic surgery is a big thing over there. So me and him would often get the subway or the metro for traveling. We often see girls and guys coming out, and so you can see all their face.
Bandaged up.
Bandages, plasters, they just came out from the surgery. Even by looking at it, I just felt really like uncomfortable. Yeah, but over there it's pretty natural. Like it's common over there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I feel like in Korea, their beauty standard is very high.
Because
Very
image is everything. Even on your CV, I think you actually need to put up an image. You know those passport pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, an image of yourself, clip it onto it, put it in your CV. Like
You kind of need to look like a K-pop star. or
pretty
something.
much.
I'm just a janitor, though. I'm looking for a janitor job.
I don't care. I'm just working in 7-Eleven though. And you have to proper like filter your picture as well. Big eyes, proper catfish thing. Like it's like
No personality, just but good looking.
the stress of that, man. Oh, man.
I would love to interview people like that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting.
I think it would, just to be absolute dick, yeah.
So, Mr. Carson,
Next.
by looking at your picture, you look quite different.
No, not really. Like, why would you change something when you grow old? You know, like, why would you look like you're 80 but your face looks like it's 20? You know, like or 30. It's like anything can happen with plastic surgery. Like, why would you want to get plastic surgery done? It's just this is you. You were born to this world being you. You know, why would you change someone that your family raised you? I just don't see why you should change yourself and your physical attributes with plastic surgery. In my opinion, anyway, I just don't see the need for it.
Do you feel confident you are heading in the right direction and becoming the right person you want to be? Like, I personally think for me, yeah, I always, when I have days, I do have days where I'm like, oh, you're just feeling a bit low. Not to say, like, I have confidence in myself. I always do. But there's days where I feel like you just feel a bit low, you're a bit mellow. But then one thing I always remind myself is I look up my certificate that I graduated in. I always remind myself, I made it, I graduated. And then it's just to constantly reassure myself that I am capable. I have the skills, I have the soft skills and the hard skills and everything. I know where I'm going. It might be a bit slower, but the direction may not be, I might not be there at the right time now, as in like I want to be having a house and so on and so forth, but it's not that I haven't reached that yet, but I feel like I'm kind of working towards that. So I don't feel like I'm behind, if I can be honest. So to answer that, yeah.
I think we're all like we have our own kind of like train track. Like I just feel like back then, like when you're like kind of going into college. No, you kind of. No, actually, even before that, you do your leaving cert, and then you're kind of worried about going into the course you wanted. And then once you get into the course you wanted or not, then you go through college, and then you graduate, and then you're like, oh crap, like what am I going to do now with my life? And then, then you kind of choose a career, and you think you're going to love this, and then you kind of stay in that career for a few years. But then we're at this point where we're like, okay, do we really want to know? Do we know where we're actually going? I feel like you're always going to be constantly questioning yourself. You're never going to be 100% sure where you're going to go. And then personally, I would compare myself again, like at a younger age, being like, these people are having a relationship. Oh, I want to be in a relationship. Or like, oh, these people are getting engaged. Why am I getting engaged? We're the same age and they're getting married now. They're buying a house, things like that. And then you kind of end up in this like kind of tunnel of like pressuring on like kind of trying to speed up your own timeline. But like you kind of realize in the end of the day, you have your own timeline. And just because you're not in someone else's timeline. Like, just because we're the same age, they're getting married and I'm not, doesn't mean I'm behind, for me anyway. Because I feel like I'm going to get there eventually. I might just, it's not the right moment for me. I'm not in the right circumstance. So yeah, like for me, I feel like I'm happy with where I'm going. I don't know exactly where I'm gonna end up, but I'm happy with the progress and with the things I've achieved so far in life, and and then again, kind of thinking back where we started, like at the root of it, like probably at first like worried about not getting a job, and then only getting contract job, and then worry about these things. But then you kind of have to keep reflecting back on where you were to begin with.
Yeah. Instead of worrying, we forget to look back at how much we have already.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a race. So yeah.
You're heading the right direction, because I know a lot of people usually get stuck or they get lost on track.
Yeah.
Which is like myself. Yeah, because for me, I'm usually the type. I actually have no confidence at all. I'm usually the shy type as well.
It was so surprising because I know you so many years, and like you are a shy person, but you don't come across as a shy person.
But the thing is, no one believes me. No one believes I'm shy.
Because we're your friends, because I know him so many years. Like we all know him so many years. We won't see him as a shy type, but he is. He genuinely is. So
do you think I'm a shy guy?
No.
See, there's another one. There's another one. No. Yeah, I'm a guy with like no confidence, and I'm usually pretty shy as well. But these are the two things that I'm working on it.
Yep.
So I'm getting there.
That confidence of saying you have no confidence is No, it is. Like I know it's like
Yeah.
because you're admitting it, and I think that it takes a lot of balls to admit that.
Pairing from me, like from back then till now, like I have made a lot of improvements. Even when I started working in retail. So in retail, you kind of have to improve your communication skills in order to sell something. So it's not that I don't have like an option. It's just I have no other options. I have to sell something, So that kind of improved my communication skills. Because before I was working in Chinese takeaways and restaurants, you don't really need to engage with the customer. Well, you kind of do, but you don't really need to talk with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in Irish culture, communication is key. Like in retail, all you do is talk.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how it kind of changed me.
That built your confidence.
Working retail.
Yeah.
And that's where it started.
Yeah, it's always doing something that you're uncomfortable doing.
Yeah.
And that's where you really grow and change.
Well, at least I know someone's not shy also. But I have kind of
You're not shy,
low
is
confidence. No, I am shy as well.
See, again, it's really surprising. Like I know these two for a long time.
I also didn't. I had low confidence, because I guess I didn't really accept myself back then, and I was slowly building it up. Kind of in the same as Alfred, where kind of when work, it kind of pushes you to do something you don't want to. Whereas I've had to speak with customers and clients who've purchased products in work, and we're there to kind of support and help them out. So we have to go in detail, and ask them what the issue is and what happened, and get as much information from them. So you really have to really have that good relationship and communication with them in that sense. So I guess back then I wasn't really just low confidence. Wasn't really the type to talk that much, but in my role at the moment, it does require a lot of talking and communicating. It doesn't have to be like technical. It can just be a casual conversations. Oh, where are you from? How's the weather over there? How are you treating the lockdown and stuff like that? It's nice to build up that relationship. It makes their lives easier. It's just a matter of just kind of putting yourself out there. It is hard. It's not easy, but I guess there is a lot of resources and people out there that can help you. It's quite hard because you're obviously looking at social media and self-confidence. Everyone's just up there. They've got all these followers. They've got all this likes. They've got this and they've got that, and you're like, oh, where am I sitting? But I'm happy enough of where I am. I could be happier, but that's where I'm pushing myself to always want to do better. Every day I'm always like, it's never good enough. Even though my parents are like, oh, you've done well. I'm like, no, I'm never done the best I can. I always want to self-prove, and I always feel like, I've mentioned it to Amy before, where, you know, on a scale of like 1 to 10, like, you know, how happy are you, or how confident are you in life at the moment? Like, what have you accomplished? I'm like, if you put me on a scale, it'd probably be like 6, 5. And it's the fact that I really want to improve on myself and be better. Just an all-rounder, you know, to friends, to family, to work, just improve in life as well. So yeah, it is hard, but I always just want to find something to push myself. I don't want to always be in that circle.
Yeah.
You know, I always want to push myself and see what it'll take me. As you said, you know, we've all got different train tracks, or we all have different footpaths. You know, we're all in secondary school, we're all on one same footpath, and then that's when you branch off and your friends go in the other direction, you go in a different direction, they all go in a different direction. It depends on which way you want to take it. You can go follow the footpath and go all the way around and back to where you started, or you can go to a long narrow footpath that you don't know where it's going to go. But there's going to be loads of challenges, obviously, but I think that's the fun part of life, of, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. So you just have to brace it and just take it as it comes.
No, I think you're dead right, because a lot of people would like to take familiar roads, doing familiar things, because obviously they want to be in their comfort zones. But in order, like what I think is, in order to build confidence, sometimes you just have to take unfamiliar roads, because you can face a lot of challenges, like, so, and in order to build your confidence, you just have to knock all of those challenges down. So it would be a huge improvement, and you can definitely see it. Like,
yeah, it's really rewarding as well, I think, when you kind of face those challenges. You know, you kind of, in a way, again, when you realize, oh, you can face that challenge, you're going to be able to face other challenges ahead of you as well, and that, you know, and you always have your friends and your family around to support you, that you're not like on this path alone. It gives you like a lot more reassurance.
It's like an armor, you know. You take on one challenge, you take that armor, you go to another one. It's like, you know, someone's attacking you, but you still keep going, you know. It's like a war that you have to fight. You defend yourself, you just keep going, no matter what. You know, like, you can still be the person where you just hide in the back of the army and just let everyone else, you know, push on forward, and you're just sitting there like,
Take the reward
yeah,
after.
I'll just stay behind and wait another couple of years. It's up to you. Like, anyone can do that, you know. Everyone is different, and everyone wants to go at their own pace. I just feel like, it's rewarding when someone says to you, oh, you've changed, you know, in a good way, or you've done well, you know, because sometimes you yourself, you don't know how well you've done, because it's hard to see it from your perspective, because there's so much going on. So I guess that's where friends and family help you and say, you know, they keep on pushing you tiny bit to keep going.
Who do you know that has the type of confidence you would like?
my brother Luke Wong.
If you're listening, sir, which you are.
Yeah, you better listen to this. No, big shout out to my brother Luke Wong. The reason why I chose Luke is because whenever I'm unsure of myself and whenever I lose confidence, I usually just go talk to him. Even for career advice, it could be anything, like family matter, like, because every time I talk to him, I feel it would give me like a confidence boost.
Yeah.
And he's just really well in managing in career wise, like interview skills. I feel like he's my therapist. like no joke. Like, so yeah, he's such a big help to me. Yeah.
100%, yeah. No, he's really good. I know he'll be listening to this podcast, but he really does help me like per se on careers. He's just the man for it. So I think like again, if you do anything advice on careers, he's a good candidate to reach out to. So
one of my colleagues in my previous workplace, she's been working as a dietitian for like 15 years, and like her, like, it's just when she talks, she knows what she's talking about. She believes in what she talks about. And even if she's not right about something, she'll be like, oh, I'm not right. But like, she'd be fine being like, okay, you tell, like, she'll have that confidence of being wrong. I think that's when you're really confident, because you're okay with being wrong. You're not insecure. So yeah, like for example, she would, like, you know, we might have like very difficult patients, or we'll have to like talk to consultants and kind of discuss like care plans about about patients, make recommendations, and I would feel very nervous about, talking to consultants about things because I feel like I'm so small and mini. But then when I see them doing it, they just kind of have that aura around them, and they're just like, they know what they're talking about. They'll make the recommendation, and if the consultant doesn't want to follow, they'll be like, okay, but I've made my recommendation. That's okay. I'm just going to document this in the notes. And okay, I've done, you've done your part,
Yeah.
You've advocated for the patient. So I would look up to her. I think it's just, but then when I I've actually talked about this with some of my colleagues as well. I'll be like, oh, I really want to be like her, like Siobhan, that's her name.
Shout out to Siobhan.
I don't know if she watched this though. She's on maternity leave.
She'll definitely watch it on maternity leave.
So what else we should be doing?
Yeah, Siobhan, come on, watch it. I'm kidding.
But and then they made a good point. It's because she's been working for 15 years, just a decade of experience behind her. And I think with confidence, experience comes with confidence as well. Like, again, it's probably all the challenges that she had along the way, being rejected by, consultants not taking certain advice, meeting difficult patients, difficult family members. And through that, she was able to probably build up her confidence and know what's right and wrong and being okay to be wrong, that kind of way. So, yeah, that would be the person that I would like to be in the future.
No, it sounds good. I love people. I admire those people who are confident in what they do, and then when they're wrong, they're so confident in terms of being open-minded and accepting other people's opinion. Because that, for me, is real confidence. Really is. They're not there to. There's no ego there. Ego is a very dangerous thing. I don't like ego, because ego is just a constant battle of like you telling people that I'm right, I'm the best at everything. Whereas confidence, you need that. So,
and do you feel like you're getting there?
I think even having that thought of her, like having her as a role model, is the start.
It is.
I'm still quite early in the career. I think I'm definitely working my way to it, because there was one particular case I had to talk to a consultant, and he's very stubborn-minded, and it's about like kind of. I was making a recommendation about this patient requiring like tube feeding, and this consultant was strongly against it. But I really believe that this is the best recommendation for the patient.
Okay.
And obviously, there's like conflict, and we had to talk. We had to have this discussion in a wider kind of meeting with a lot of other members of the team. But then afterwards, he kind of dismissed me. And then I remember talking to Siobhan specifically, and she told me like, okay, you need to go to him directly and say this to him. I was like, oh, okay, so I have to go directly to his office. He's like, yeah, you need to do that. And then I was like, okay. And I actually literally went outside the consultant's office. I was like hovering for ages, and I kind of tell myself like, okay, this is the right thing to do.
Prep talk, yeah,
and be like, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just making a recommendation. Pep talking to myself. And then I was like about to knock on the door.
He opened it,
and then another consultant came out, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just going into Dr. Blah's office." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you should go in. He's in there." I was like, "Oh great, I'm gonna go in now."
You're narrating yourself.
yeah. But like, I think that pushed me again. Like, kind of, like back then, I would probably like not talk to him in the end, being like, "Oh well, he didn't agree with me. Then I'll just leave it to be." But I feel like now I need to do more. I need to do what's right, and if I'm able to do more, I should do more, because that's the right thing to do. I think that helped. So yeah, Siobhan kind of, indirectly kind of pushed me to be more confident in making recommendations.
Nice. It's kind of like your mentor, like how you see it, like kind of thing,
she doesn't realize it. She always feels I remember when she went on maternity leave, she was like, "Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm replaceable. I'll be back in 10 months, but I'm replaceable. You can ask blah 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 for advice if you need." But in my head, I'm like, "No, you're not replaceable."
She's a guardian angel.
Yeah. But she doesn't know it. I haven't actually kind of expressed my feelings to her.
Hey,
so.
you have now.
Listen to this podcast. There you go.
Yeah. Tell her to give us a shout out. Well.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. This is a recent one. This is just a recent one. So David Goggins, he's like a fitness enthusiast. He's just really good in terms of giving motivational speech and stuff like that. One thing that really just stuck to me is like, if you want to, it's basically outwork your competition. Shit, never mind. I don't know if that was David Goggins or whatever. But it's one of these motivation I had, like, it's those motivational speakers is what I strive for confidence wise. When I say that is because they said outwork your competition. What that means is like when you're working out and wake up in the morning really early, like 6 in the morning, 9 in the morning, work out. You don't want to do it, but if you're doing it, you're already outworking your competition. So for me, like, I know it's just kind of like the confidence I'm trying to work on is basically my physique, because I do want to get I just want to try to get ripped once or get leaned. Like I've never tried it because I've been just big. I want to just see what is it like.
Really?
Like, yeah, like as in like really packs and all, you know, legit packs. I want to be like, oh, nice.
It's so weird though.
Yeah, but I just want to try it, so that's why I want to
just stay big.
Yeah.
Well, I
think you should. I think you should finish this. And,
You're right.
Yeah.
Why torture yourself? You know.
It's not that like I want to. It's just.
It's on your bucket list.
It's something I want to do before I hit 30. I want to try to aim to see if I could make it.
That's like next year, though.
Yeah, that's next year. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
You know what?
I don't think you should.
You know what?
No, keep going, keep going. What makes you happy? You know.
Yeah, what makes you
What makes you happy?
Yeah, I think because the reason I want to do that is because I always try. I have 5-year plans all the time.
5 years.
As in, like, I try to make 5-year plans. As in, like, try to get a job, advance in career. Like back then for leaving cert, finish leaving cert, end of college, find a job. Like make a plan. I always kind of have like a blueprint of things. Work if it, like for it to work or not work, for me to follow or not follow. It doesn't matter, but I try to like to set things out, and that's how like I have to visually plan things. Like that's the reason I have this next one is to try to get like to try and challenge myself, because I don't want to be in the comfortable zone, because it's a danger zone when you're in the comfortable zone, when you're just doing things that you're always doing. Like even with podcasts is what I'm trying to say, like stepping out and just doing something really new. And yeah, that's how I kind of build my confidence in terms of just getting out of my comfort zone. But to answer that question, it's just basically motivational speakers. All of them. That's what
Do you binge watch every one of them on YouTube?
Yeah, I do. Every morning I wake up, I just play them on the background and just listen to it, and then just do my workouts, and then that's it. And then if I'm really bored, I just play it as background music, because that's the feeding, as I was saying earlier, whatever you feed your mind. So those are things I'm feeding my mind is. So there's days where I feel really down, but then I'm like, yo, this guy said this. It's okay. I pick myself up. Yeah, because like it's like you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, but your good days gonna outweigh the bad days. So I'm like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. So yeah, it's whatever you feed yourself with. I'm feeding with those kind of like motivational things, because it just helps big time.
One person in work, in my colleague, she's on kind of emergency leave because she had to get surgery done on her shoulder. But as soon as I joined the company, she was like our kind of coach. So we call it their term is like a coach. She would she's like a mother figurely, you know. She would always kind of help us. So she's not kind of technical, but she would help us if clients or customers are emotional or being, you know, moody or aggressive, or, you know, shouting or cursing at us. She would step in to help us control the situation. So when we first started, obviously, kind of in an enterprise company, it's quite scary going on the calls and answering and helping out with big clients' queries and questions. She was the one that I think she would tell us what's right and what's wrong. And I guess back then we were just like, oh yeah, like yeah. Like we would, like, I don't know, for guys, no one wants to admit they're wrong. Usually it's like, oh yeah, I'm always right and stuff. But I think I've always admitted it. But I think with her, I've always been like, no, I think I'm right. And then obviously there was disagreements with me and her. And then obviously it didn't go, it went heated. It was heated. And then I took I was thinking about what happened. I was like, you know, I'm just going to like go up to her. So this is out of my comfort zone, go up to her, speak to her about the situation, and then, you know, apologize, and then you kind of discussed it, and then, you know, she was fine with it, and then we were on good terms again, and then we were still on the same team, and then afterwards I left to a different team, so I pretty much promoted to a different team. What I didn't realize was she was also promoted to the same team that I was joining, but we didn't realize until we both got in. And from that, she's on the same team as I am now, but it's from there. I think it's our kind of working relationship is really, really good, in a sense that she would always provide feedback if I was doing right or wrong. I would always ask her, I'd always apologize. I'm just always the apologetic one, even if it's in the past. She's like, why are you still apologizing? Whatever in the past is in the past. We moved on forward. We're on good terms now. And I've always asked, no matter how bad or what it is, just tell me if I'm doing something bad or not. And she would always give feedback, and she'd always say, pretty much has always been positive of what I've done. So I think she's a good kind of role model to continue. Like, she'd always be like, oh, you're being too caring. You care too much of what the clients are saying. And she's like, sometimes you have to be a bit mean. But then I'm like, if I be a bit mean, won't they come back and bite me again? But she's like, yeah, but you got to stand firm and just, raise your voice. And I'm just like, oh, I guess. It's kind of, yeah.
Is that how she taught you how to do customer service?
Well,
That's really different from my one.
Well, she knows how I speak, because whenever we talk to customers, they record it and they can listen back to what we were saying. So she's saying I'm doing it well, but she's saying I'm being just a bit too nice to them. And at times you can be kind of a bit stand firm, because there is certain policies and procedures we can do and whatever in the contract they sign, but obviously the client's not going to read a 20-page essay of policies and stuff. So yeah, I think she's a good role model to improve what I can do. Yeah.
So we're going to start taking her advice and be more tough now, is it?
Be mean.
Super
to your
assertive.
customer.
Yeah.
It depends, right?
Did you even read those 20 pages of policy?
Excuse me, I'm talking now.
There is times where, if something, like, I think one of my colleagues, he's an Israeli.
Oh, okay.
Every time he gets so he's Israeli, but he hates Israeli people as well.
Okay.
It's just they're very, I want this, I want that. They're very demanding. And whenever he gets a call and he speaks to them in Israeli and they get really aggressive, he's like, okay, if you're not going to speak to me in a good manner, I'm going to hang up. He hangs up then. They call back, and if he picks it up, he's like, hi, my name is this, how can I help you? And it's the same guy. He goes, oh yes, I'm sorry for cursing out at you earlier. Can you help me? And he's like, okay, now we can start.
Yeah.
So that's another good approach of saying it.
Yeah.
It's all about manners. If you're not going to have good manners with someone else, then obviously my colleague is like, yeah, I'm just not having it, just hang it up.
Yeah, obviously sometimes clients can treat their customer service like shit, Yeah. But sometimes you have to respect them.
Yeah. It really is important to stand firm as well, in regards to what Carson's saying, because you don't want them stepping all over you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you are a person. You are a person at the end of the day. It is a job, but you do kind of need to stand up for yourself. It is important. Yeah.
I guess that's where I've kind of learned to kind of stand firm. So I have improved. So I don't really take anything from customers or clients. It's just like, oh yeah, we need this and that. I'm just like, yes, I understand your thing, but this isn't the way to go. And I explain them and educate them. Try to educate them. I guess that's where my patience comes from as well. The work is, you have to be very patient with them, because it is like international. Some of the clients and customers are not actually, like, English is not their first language. It could be their second language, and they might not be good at expressing or speaking how it is.
So you might get someone who has broken English.
Yeah, always do.
That must be tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tough.
Jesus.
So whenever it's like that, it's like, okay, just send me an email and just tell me what to
Email.
Just type it all out. I'll Google translate everything.
It's like they're not good at speaking, but they know how to write. It's like in Hong Kong, their English is probably like broken, but when they're typing, it's probably way better than how I would type. They can lay out words and form sentences, but they can't speak it properly. So we just do that.
You were going to say something, Fiona?
Sorry to cut you off.
I was gonna say really admire your colleague for like kind of setting his boundaries. I think that's important, isn't it? When you kind of set your boundaries of, like, if you don't speak politely to me or if you curse at me, then I'm not going to talk to you. I think people do respect that in the end, and I think that kind of again builds on like self-care and self-love, because you love yourself enough to like not let people
trample all over you. And sometimes you don't see it from your perspective, and you're like, oh, like you heard it from them because they know how the conversation went, so they understand. Oh, you gotta stand up for yourself.
What kind of advice would you give to people if they have no confidence or if they're facing insecurity?
Yeah, my advice is don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, and don't ever lose your confidence whenever people judge you, because at the end of the day, you're not going to please every single one in the world. That's how I always see it. Just stick to your instincts. Just make sure to respect one another.
Yep.
That's always a big thing to me. If you don't respect me, why should I respect you, right?
My advice is love yourself, be comfortable in your own skin, but most importantly, just be yourself and take care of your own health. And then, because the foundation is important. So once you have it, it will kind of create a natural effect in terms of taking care of other people easier along the way. Yeah.
Always remember that what you've achieved so far in life, you may not be where you're going to be right now, but you're going into that direction. Always take a breather, look back and think about what you've been through, all the challenges that you've faced and you've overcome. And that's life. Like, you're always going to have challenges ahead. Like, just because you overcome this mountain, this hurdle, doesn't mean there's going to be none afterwards. You're going to always have more along the way. And just always think back that, I'm able to go past them. I have the ability to go past them. I can do it. You can do it. Everyone can do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And also I feel like, love yourself. I know it's easier said than done.
Yep.
It's definitely easier said than done, but remember, you have to, I think it's a conscious thing that you just have to remember that you're worthy of love. You're a valuable human being. You're as valuable as everyone else next to you. And what you see on social media and online isn't always real. Like, it's a highlight reel. It's a highlight of someone's life. So you're always going to compare your worst moments to their best moments. So there's no way to compare, basically. And be proud of yourself. I think maybe coming from an Asian culture or Chinese culture, we're always like, oh, you need to be humble, or being Christian, you always have to be humble. You can't basically sell yourself or say that you've done a great job. But I think it's important that you acknowledge that, because if you don't acknowledge it and you wait for someone else's appraisal, then there's the problem, because you're kind of relying on other people's praise and not worship, but praise or feedback in order to kind of ignite that confidence in. Be proud of yourself. And be confident in yourself. And if it's not at the detriment of others, you're not hurting anyone else around you, you're not affecting other people around you, then do what's right for you, because in the end, you've only got this life and this is your life and you can do it.
You can.
Do it. Just do it.
Great advice.
Really is, yeah.
Pretty much what you all said.
All right, that's a wrap, guys.
All right. Next episode. See you next episode.
But yeah, like that's it.
So we're gonna take these away.
See you later, guys.
Like, pretty much what everyone else has said. But as Fiona's saying, everyone, you always got to pat yourself on the back just to, just see how far you've come. We've all overcome our different courses. We've all come from different backgrounds and different colleges and different courses we did, different paths we took. But we're all going somewhere. Maybe you won't see where you're going, but other people will see it from their perspective, saying, "Oh, you're going on a good course," but the other person in his head's like, "Oh, I'm not really going anywhere." Well, the other person's saying, "You're going on a good course," So it's always good to have those friends and family to back you up or help you see how far you've done in life. You only have one shot in life, so make the most out of it. As long as you don't harm people or do other stupid things in life, just keep going, just be yourself. If you feel like you're not doing too well, that's fine. It happens, but just keep on going, keep striving forward. Always go out of your comfort zone, do the best you can. if it doesn't work, that's fine. Just keep researching, keep kind of seeing what other ways or what other areas you can improve on or what you can try and do. If this doesn't work, then try something else. But at the end of it, it's all about learning and trying it out. If it doesn't work, then go back, take a step back, see whichever way or whichever course you want to go. So if this college course doesn't work out, then that's fine, you know, like, and let's say you're like 24 and you're like, oh, I'm getting old. It's like, who cares? Like, why are you judging yourself compared to others? Just do what you want to do. There's people that are probably 40, 50 still doing college and like, what? So what? Like, it doesn't matter. They want to learn more. So that's what they want to do in life. So why judge people? Just do what you got to do. Don't let social media get into you. Just keep on improving and just be confident in yourself. You know, look after yourself, you know, eat healthy, but like you can also eat whatever you want. It doesn't matter. As I said, you only live once, so eat whatever you want, like literally where Eamon is doing. But I mean, like it you know, there's no point in being the healthy person all the time. There's always going to be a balance between healthy and unhealthy. So yeah, it's just keep going in life and just keep exploring. If you want to do something, if you want to do photography, then go do it. If you want to just, I don't know, build computers, build computers. If you want to just pick up different hobbies, you want to start cooking, then start cooking. Just do whatever you want that makes you feel comfortable.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Show some love by liking and subscribing to our channel, Companions of Fools, on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Companions of Fools, and feel free to drop us some questions on our topic you want us to cover on Twitter at Companion of Fool 1. Have a good day or night wherever you're listening from, but most importantly, stay safe.